104.5, the team, you're home for New York sports. Levac and Wolf in the afternoon, and this guy, this Andrew Williams, he keeps turning up like a bad penny. We finally chase him out of the building.
Right.
He goes down and becomes this bigwig soccer producer for Sirius XM radio. We lovingly know him as Dubs. Dubs, first of all, everybody misses you. How's everything going in D.C.?
D.C. is good. It's humid, I'll tell you that. But I'm very giddy right now. I've got the smile on my face that I'm back on the 104.5 the team with my boys and my family up in Albany right now, I'll tell you that.
I got to say, though, Dubs, I follow you on Snapchat. I don't feel like you've been in D.C. since you took the job in D.C. You've been all over the country.
Oh, my God. You know how it is right now with the weddings and all that stuff and moving. I had to move 2 different times since I got down here. It's been, it's ridiculous. But it's settled in now. Everything's all good, but I do miss my boys up in Albany for sure.
It's kind of cool, though. Dubs went from producer to soccer expert.
Right.
Just by leaving the building.
Hey, that's all it takes sometimes.
All right, Dubs, let's get into this. Let me some really hard-hitting soccer questions. What's Copa America?
Copa America is a South American tournament, a historic South American tournament that the U.S. never is involved in, that Mexico is never involved in. But since it's the 100th year anniversary of it, it's in America this year, and the CONCACAF teams, which includes us, Costa Rica, Mexico, we all decided we wanted a piece of it, a piece of the money, essentially, and now it's in America this year. That's what it is.
So, Dubs, some hard-hitting soccer questions for you. Why is the ball black and white?
Equal opportunity, Wolf. That's what it comes down to. Equal opportunity. Everybody deserves to get kicked around once in a while. So they thought they'd put half of it and half of it, like a hybrid like myself.
I love that answer.
You said the U.S. and Mexico never even play in this thing, but since it's a big year, we are playing in it. Are we going to win it? Who do we have to play? Give us a little bit of background.
Right now, the U.S., we lost our opening game to Colombia, 2-0, which they came out playing well. A bad penalty against them, a very bad set piece that they got scored on in the first opening 5 minutes of the game. They have the hardest group. We'll start with that. They have the hardest group. It's Colombia, Paraguay, and Costa Rica. All good teams, all teams that can beat the U.S., but the U.S. can also beat them. So we're looking at a group right now where the U.S. could win it, which it will be very hard now after the loss against Colombia, or they could come in last place in this group. So it's kind of all over the board. It depends on what U.S. team we're going to get, how they're going to come out. They play Costa Rica tomorrow night, which is essentially a must-win. They don't beat Costa Rica tomorrow, it's not looking good for them to advance past the group stages.
So, all right, the hard-hitting that we're either going to win it all or lose it all. That's kind of why we chased you out of the building, Dubs. But, I mean, realistically, will they? How far can the U.S. go?
That's the thing. The U.S. they can, like I said, they can win this group, and if they get past the group, then you get to the knockout stages. In the knockout stages, you don't know what can happen. They can make a run. They can make it to the semifinals. They can make it to the finals, which I don't see happening. When you have the Argentinos with Lionel Messi, when you have the Brazils with Willian on the team, these guys that all play overseas are top-tier players, the farthest I see the U.S. realistically making it is the quarterfinals. I don't see it past that, and I know a lot of your listeners, all the guys that go to Wolves, that are going to be at the game watching it, don't like that answer, but that's the real answer, Levac and Wolf. These guys aren't getting past the quarterfinals, and if they do, then it'll be a shock to me.
Andrew Williams, former producer right here at 104.5 The Team, now soccer man for Sirius XM Radio in D.C. Dubs, if you hold out of this tournament every year, kind of giving the air that you're too good for it, and then you finally play in it, and the best you were expected to do is the quarterfinals, kind of sends some mixed messages.
It does, and the biggest thing it also hurts is the U.S. is trying to get a bid for a World Cup in 2026, I believe, around that time period. And if this, right now it's not looking good. We're seeing empty stadiums. All the games aren't on television. You got to go search for Fox Sports 1 or Univision, whatever that is. They don't have all these games on. It's not looking good right now for having games in America. And if the U.S. can't do well in it, then everybody's looking at our rivals, Mexico, to do the best after them.
Hey, Dubs, can I ask you a general soccer question? Because this has always perplexed me.
Absolutely.
Soccer is undoubtedly, I think, the biggest sport in the world overall.
Yes, correct.
No question about it. Yet, and soccer in this country is at the high school and college levels, pretty important. Yet professional soccer in this country doesn't rival where it is at in the rest of the world. Why do you think that is? And do you think it's something that's going to grow?
I think it's something that we've seen it growing year by year, tournament by tournament. A couple years ago when I was there, Levac hated everything about soccer. During the World Cup, he was the most patriotic guy we saw down at the beer garden, down there watching the game.
Any chance to scream USA and drink a beer.
Exactly. That's what it's coming down to. But then these fans are sticking around longer and longer. And, Wolf, when it comes to the domestic leagues, it comes down to this. You have to play against the best players to get better. That's something we all know. I feel like it's something your dad tells you when you're playing sports when you're younger. You want to be the best, you have to play the best. The best isn't here in America. The best is in England. It's in Spain. It's in Italy. It's in Germany. It's not here right now. We have some of the best athletes in the world, but they're playing basketball, football, and other sports. We don't care about soccer as much right now. It will slowly change, but it's not something that I don't think we'll see in our lifetime either. I don't think we'll get a World Cup in our lifetime.
Yeah,
well, Dubs left us just to talk about soccer. You didn't think he was going to say it's not going to grow, did you?
No, well, I think Dubs gave us a really honest answer. Not in our lifetimes. I don't think that's particularly optimistic, but true.
Well, I mean, because look how well everything goes when they give it to other countries now. How's that Olympics looking?
Oh, well, I mean, the U.S. men's national team not even in the Olympics. If you want to see our country in the Olympics, it will be our women's team, which is the most dominant. That's where we can go with it. The United States women's team is the best in the world. So technically, we do have the best soccer team in the world in the U.S.
But it's the women.
It's the women, correct.
Okay. Well, it's typical. The men get all the glory and the women do all the work. We're used to that around here. It's no big deal.
So Levac was sort of anti-soccer, Dubs, when you were here?
Oh, I'm still anti-soccer.
Yeah, he's still anti-soccer. I'll get the occasional message of soccer boy this, soccer boy that down here, even though I know it's all love.
I can honestly say since I've been here, which is 2 months, the word soccer has never come out of his mouth.
Well, no, because now I don't have to yell at him. You're talking about Andrew Williams, who is where he belongs, running the soccer channel for Sirius or whatever. And the bottom line is I'd come in here and I'd be like, hey, Dubs, is this, and this done? And he'd be yelling goal because he'd be watching soccer from whatever country on his computer.
Anything that gives you a chance to drink a beer at 11 in the morning at a bar and enjoy a game, any guy will be into.
That's fair. Dubs, man, it's good to hear from you. We'll keep hitting you up. You are officially the soccer expert of 104.5 The Team. All joking aside, we're all so proud of you, man.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it, and I miss you, boys.